Hi, well, welcome back.
Hello.
This is Clive and Jerry again. In the last video, Jerry was talking about asking questions to stop yourself talking. So, can you give us some examples of that today?
Sure, that's what this clip's going to be all about. As you rightly said, Clive, the temptation in some of these conversations you're having is to do a lot of talking yourself. So, we're going to concentrate in this session purely about asking questions, and asking really good questions which require the other person to do a lot of thinking even before they answer. Now, there's a lot of benefits from asking questions. As I just said, it transfers the onus for talking to the other person.
Yes.
Takes the onus off you. Okay? It requires, or it should require them to think before they answer, rather than just blurt something out. So you're really engaging the brain here.
There's no point asking them a question with a yes/no answer.
Absolutely right. That is a golden rule, and you know, we all kind of, I think, have learned about open questions. I'm going to take this a little bit further. They're still open questions, but they're kind of higher level. The third point about asking a really good question is it gives you also time to think and to listen very closely to what they're saying.
Which is what we've covered in the previous video.
Absolutely,
yes.
Okay. Finally, these questions tell you whether the other person is on the wavelength that you both want to be on. That's very important.
Yes.
It almost tells you how their brain's working. Gives you an insight to where they come from.
Yeah, because everyone can put up a facade in terms of trying to do an acting job.
Correct. And with this, and it's called the facilitative question. It's a bit of a big word, but when I talk about a facilitative question, Clive, you got any idea where I may be heading? What this is all about?
No, I understand an open question, but not a facilitative one.
Okay, let's talk about a facilitative question. Is an open question, but it's almost like an open question with a stripe. You know, it's almost a higher level open question.
Right, okay, yes.
What it does by the very sound of it, it facilitates the discussion. In other words, it makes it easier for the discussion to progress.
Right.
Right? And so I'm going to give you some examples about a facilitative question, and you'll see by their very nature that they're a kind of higher level open question. Alright?
And they're guiding people down a particular path.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay, they absolutely do that. Okay, Clive, I'm going to put you slightly in the hot spot.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. I'm generous as you know. Let's assume you're the person with the behaviour problem, okay?
Yes.
That I want to fix. And that you are a person who makes smart throwaway comments, particularly aimed at other people during a meeting.
Yep.
And it's quite disruptive. Okay?
Okay.
But you obviously enjoy doing it.
Yes.
Okay. Clearly as a manager.
I do now.
Right. I don't want that to continue.
Yes.
So, here's the conversation. Okay, Clive, when you make those very clever, witty, but personal comments to people at a meeting, what are you trying to achieve?
Not trying to achieve anything, it's just a bit of fun, it's a bit of banter.
Mm-hmm. For who?
For everybody.
Okay, if I was to say to you, that's not how it's perceived, how would you respond?
Oh, I thought that everyone was feeling comfortable with that.
No, they're not.
Right, okay, so why aren't they comfortable with it? It's something we do in the office, so
Okay, right.
why do you have a problem in meetings?
Well, in the context of a meeting, we're trying to achieve lots of results, okay?
Yeah.
So when you make that comment, what effect do you think, first of all, would have on the individual that's aimed at?
It's just comments that just go backwards and forwards, so
Okay.
there's nothing malicious intended within the comments.
Okay.
It's just some fun.
Okay. You may have noticed, you may not, and some of you out there may be familiar with this, that there's a pause in the meeting and it's a bit of an sort of embarrassed silence.
Yeah, I suppose now you mention it, there is a bit of a pause.
Okay. So when you've made that comment and it's had quite a detrimental effect on the other person, what do you think other members of the team are thinking now about you?
Probably looking a bit stupid.
Anything else?
I wonder whether they're going to be in line for comment next.
Indeed. And the net effect of that would be?
Yeah. Now you mention it, it probably isn't conducive to the meetings.
No, it isn't. And the last question I think I'd ask you is, for this, what effect, how does that actually move us forward as a team during the meeting when you do that?
I say we do it on a one-to-one in the office, so we just continue into the meeting, but from what you said now, then maybe you ought to think a bit more about the effects that I'm having.
Yeah. On who particularly?
On the people that I've been making comments about.
Correct. And as a team?
From what you just said earlier, then that will probably help the team as well in the meetings and make the meetings more productive.
Right. Okay. Right. We'll start. Do you see what I'm talking about? Facilitative questions. What was I really doing with you?
You were putting me on the spot and making me think
about
what I was doing and why I was doing it.
Correct.
It's very difficult trying to put yourself in that position when you're not naturally that sort of person, but yeah, it does certainly make you think a lot more.
Okay. Now, at any stage, did you feel that I was haranguing, bullying you?
No.
Okay. Was it totally comfortable for you?
It wasn't that comfortable, but it was certainly a lot better than getting involved in the slanging match of being you attacking me and me becoming defensive.
Correct. Okay.
Which I've seen happen in many situations.
Okay. And finally, what I was trying to do is get some rapport going, but really get you to concentrate on your behaviour and the effects that it's having. Okay?
Yeah.
And lastly, then I'd probably ask you, okay, Clive, so from now on, what's going to happen?
What's in my behaviour?
Excellent. Okay. Next session we're going to give you a couple of little tips about, people call it how to shut up. I'd actually prefer to call it how to stop yourself talking too much. Okay, so see you in the next clip.
Okay, right. Thanks for your time, Jerry.